Hello guys, welcome to part 1 of 2025 Croatian trip. It's Christian from Emotions in Wine. Montia did a great job with the filming, as you will see in this video in particular. After a long trip as usual, we had one night stop on the way in Dalmatia, which we visited mostly. As you can see, very wonderful weather when we arrived, chilled a bit. This is the tunnel Dingač. So to go to Dingač area in the Pelješac peninsula facing the sea, the wonderful location where the most famous red wine from Plavac Mali grape is made. It was the first appellation in the country in the 60s under Yugoslavia days. You see the steep slopes, the sea reflecting the sun, so there is triple sun here, as they say, from the sun, from the sea reflection, and from the rocks reflection. It's very rocky, very little soil, steep up to the maximum 60-70%, but usually 30, 40, 50, as you can see now in the upper part here. So we came back, as said in the preview, for many reasons. Hard work to contact the wineries. Majority, as said already in the past, very tiny. This is Antičević, the main visit that we plan here in Pelješac, and 15,000 bottles total with about 8 wines. So one of the relatively not too small and well organized. Nico, the owner, very nice guy, very available, even if you go for yourself to visit. Small cellar, as you can see, nothing pretentious, everything on spot to make quality. He's very much focused on elegance, so we will see along the visit. First of all, most of the wines are from indigenous yeasts. As said, the cellar is very tiny, but he's making everything there. So real craftsmanship, bottling also, labeling, everything there. So of course, listed the space, he needs to do step-by-step the things. That's why he has a lot of tanks. The small area for French and Croatian barriques, only small ones. He cannot have the big Slavonian cask traditional in Croatia because really he doesn't have space. So real craftsmanship, experiencing a lot. He's trying different things. That's why he makes 8 wines out of the 2 grapes. So Rukatac, the white, which is quite popular in Pelješac Peninsula, and of course Plavac Mali, the king red, which they call black. Crni, it means black. Is allowed by law, actually. In fact, in Croatian they say crni, not red, because Plavac has a very dark ruby color, and also Refošk for the Teran in Istria, so in the north of the country, is very deep. So makes sense, this interesting point also. So he's very humble, very frank, passionate in what he's doing. So we connected immediately. His family had a long history here in the good days before the Second World War. They were producing even quantities. Then, of course, communism made everything slow down. But he restarted seriously in the last period. I didn't ask actually when. He's still young, so of course he's a development. But luckily he has some heritage in Dingač, also of old vines with a very ridiculous low yield. That is good for the quality, the complexity of the wine, and the longevity. So step by step he is growing. As said, he is experimenting with these 2 grapes. Rukatac, the white, is an easygoing in general white, but he is making something interesting also with that in a couple of versions because he wanted to do one more traditional style, one more modern. The modern is a bit more elegant, also interesting comparison for me to see the winemaking, how it changed in the wine profile. He makes a rosé from the Plavac Mali, interesting, with just pressing time of contact on the skin, so very short, less than an hour, but enough to give a nice color. It's a bit different character because Plavac Mali has a lot of polyphenols, so inevitably gives more to even a rosé like that compared to other grapes. and then several Plavac Mali, an oaked, and then 2 Dingač. The 2 Dingač are one traditional and one modern. He cannot have also the short history of the winery, so he doesn't have back vintages. Everything was 21, 22. This is a bit of pity. He's trying step by step to do a bit of library because, of course, especially Dingač has a great NG potential, and it's interesting to see how it can evolve and develop. All these small wineries have that issue. Only a couple of the big ones have some back vintages.
Wood is from that time. Only these 2 are ruined, but I bought new ones. They are under, and I'm using it when I'm pressing.
They're completely different.
And you will see on the taste it is also different.
Here we have some green.
In the past, we were squeezing it, and after that put it on the wire and doing like this to take those green parts. And I don't have time now for doing like that way. I have a machine which smashes it and takes that off. Yes. And
majority
do that. Yes. And then but what is interesting thing that I learned from my late grandfather and my father, how I know how much it will stay in a something like this. It stays between 7 to 15 days. But I can't explain you how long it will stay on the skin and everything. I know it, I do like this.
Yeah,
right?
That is
and then I take it.
Your interpretation, as I said already in other videos, your interpretation of the nature.
Yes.
What is the vintage, what is given, you know, with your experience, you interpret. It's not about the book, it's about the
something, what is the feeling?
The field giving you the touch to understand.
And it is done on Wild East.
Also the other reds, you said all.
Yes. In this one, alcohol is almost 16.
Even here, cannot say. Of course, you feel that it's alcoholic, but 16 I couldn't say.
When you try a little bit like this, then you feel the hotness and
21.
Yes.
And the sugar is always about 2.
No, this here
a bit more.
A little bit more is about 5-6 grams.
Okay.
But we didn't stop the fermentation.
It stops itself.
It stops itself. When alcohol comes like that, kills the yeast.
Sorry. So this is just for the vinification, and then you put into the barrels.
Yes.
Directly.
Yes.
And
no, first goes in the stainless steel.
First stainless steel.
Fermentates to the end.
So no fermentation in barrel, only after fermentation.
Yes. When it is done, then it goes for aging here.
And then normal temperature, so you let it go.
Yes.
And so it stops when it wants.
Yes. Sometimes it goes till Christmas. Christmas.
Yeah.
It still goes slowly.
Now it's less.
Like this, because every year I try a little bit, a friend comes and like that, and now it is
like this. And then how you preserve it if it's almost empty?
It has
okay, the level. Yes.
And it goes by itself.
Okay, automatic.
And it has paraffin oil around it, which is without smell and the taste, and it preserves. But this one, like I told you, 2011, very old one, but I think it is in a very, very good shape for the age. But the smell is almost like a Prošek, something like that. But you will see.
It's Dingač.
Dingač, yes. And I had the Rich, which was 10 years old, bottled, in a friend of mine. He's a captain, And the captains from all the world came to his house, and he said, I found one bottle. It is yours. I said, read it. It is 10 years old. What do you think? If I give them, those are the people who tried the most expensive wines. I said, I don't know. Give them. If there is a problem, tell that it is not good, but give them and try. They tried it. It was excellent. So it can be aged.
Yeah, that we know. That we know. And
if it was bottled, it will be even better.
Yeah, of course. It's more tertiary.
Yes. It will keep the smell also better.
So this one will never be bottled because it's almost finished.
It will be just for friends and me.
You are not able to keep something in the good vintages to have one, at least few bottles.
It is a plan. Every year is a plan.
But so far you couldn't make it.
But I'm working a lot of things here, and I said every year I did this here and over there. I'm leaving something. Down there are the oldest one.
Yeah, big guy.
Oh, I will show you what is fucking. I must tell you what is Hibiga. Just a moment. So, this wine was done when it was too hard one day, and I was thinking of everything, especially in the harvest, you can't find help and everything. And we were doing the traditional one, and we filled the tank, and it was a little bit left, and we said, what are we going to do with this? And the guy who helps me, and I said, oh, fuck it, I don't know what we are going to do. Put it in that barrel. Then we were doing Dingač, and it happened like that. And he said, boss, are we going to put it in fuck it? I said, yes, fuck it, put it. And then we did it with the Gregada also. And
no, yeah, the Gregada is not Dingač.
Not Dingač.
So then this one you cannot call Dingač.
No, it is called fuck it.
I thought it was Dingač Jebiga. Instead it's just Jebiga.
And then we put it in a barrique. And then I wrote this.
The story.
So
which vintage it is?
Fuck it. Listen first. So, wine fuck it is done for me and for those who deserve it. Fuck it. Other things were usually written on the label, the vintage and everything. I didn't write it. So, ask the owner who will tell him or not. Fuck it.
Fantastic.
Enjoy in the wine. If you don't like it, it's your fault. You bought it. Fuck it. And deserve sometimes yourself with the good things, because life goes too fast. At the end you will say, fuck it, fuck it. And this is the wine. You can't try it. You must buy it.
So as you can see, also funny guy. So high level of elegance, even finesse, I would say. Value for money, outstanding. So he's doing a great job. He's really competitive. So he's one of the top of the list for sure. Still not easy to find information about him even online. I found him there, but very little yet, even if he told me some journalists are writing about him even recently. 2 of his wines awarded between the best. So step by step, he will get more recognition. In Croatia, he's already well recognized. So for sure, a winery to keep under the radar if you go to Dalmatia, 100%. So it's time to talk about Postup, the second appellation. A few years after Dingač was granted, is closer to Orebeach, the village, as you see, is much smaller area, just 50 hectares, less steep slopes, especially the low part is quite flat, as you can see. So the average inclination is much lower and the peak is about 45-50%. The plan was to see any winery here. The contact was not successful, but Nico Antičević was kind enough to put us in touch with Cibilić. We found then that they had a shop, so this is where we went to meet Ante, one of the two brothers plus one sister. They all have day job, and this is part-time, their passion and their heritage from the family. They have a small surface of Postup and then something up on the peninsula where they make Rukatas the White and normal Plavac Mali. So they make 4 wines, also rosé, 1 Postup, 2,000 bottles. That's it. Total production, just 5,000 bottles between the 4 wines. He explained me that the soil also is a bit different in Postup, not just the slope. We focused on that wine, which by the way they were finishing, so I was lucky enough, one of the last bottles to try. But very nice also the Rukatas, very nice also the Plavac Mali, but the Postup is the most relevant also because I don't have big experience in tasting them, and they are considered one of the very best. I saw even on lists and in wine shops, and even ratings even higher than many Dingač. Postup in general is a bit more gentle, softer, less tannic. Probably all the characteristics of the slope and the soil contributing. Is harvested usually a bit later, so it's also less hot than the other. And theirs is really elegant, smooth. The alcohol is still quite high, 15.5, but you cannot perceive it. So it's a great example. Young also, 21 vintage also in their case, of course, that is a bit pity, but for sure Postup can express well in younger age compared to Dingač, needs less time. So for sure 4 or 5 years for this wine are already a bit more proper, let's say. So great experience, great chat with him about many topics also, and a very nice guy. In the time, I guess they will try to expand. He's working for another winery, so he's really a professional there in the industry. So he may become famous in future, but of course they will need time. Then Postup is, as said, very little, so they cannot get more. So they will have to make more Plavas and other things eventually, unless they will be able to buy any plot from someone else. So an interesting surprise, really. I saw the name before, but there was no way to contact them, so it was really a great surprise. A wonderful day before with Nico and then with him. One day only there, so short, but also for all the issues that I always mention, not easy to get in touch. I don't want to go again to the big ones. We saw a couple last year. They are much less interesting, even if they have older vintages. So much more interesting to discover this winery. It's not easy. There are others. Bura is quite famous. I think they make both Dingač and Postup. Should be one of the very top. I couldn't get in touch with them. Kirija, as you can see, we tasted it. In this case, we were almost there, but he didn't want to speak English because he is not confident. So in the end, we couldn't visit him, but he is closed normally. Other smaller names you can find around it, but not easy to get to visit them. So it's still very complicated. Of course, between the big ones, there is Corta Catarina to mention and Grgić that I mentioned already last year. Grgić is Croatian origin, but is American. Corta Catarina, Americans, wealthy. They built a sort of castle. It's good for the visibility also of the region. But those are not the things that I'm most interested in. But of course, you can go and visit them. Those are always open. So, interesting trip even this time. Amazing people, very genuine, very friendly, very easygoing, great focus on quality, on elegance for all. So this is a bit the modern touch. They are all doing shorter maceration, as you heard before. That is one of the keys. Less extraction, so a bit more elegance, and less need of long aging before drinkability. So another great trip. See you next time with another chapter, but in between there will be other tasting videos as usual. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, support us as much as possible. We need to grow to make more trips. See you next time, and salute.